If you are expecting, or if you believe that it's actually your job to make the whole house picture perfect all the time, then you're under a burden that you're never going to be able to get out of. Instead of saying, okay, my job is facilitating life. And you know what? Are the kids alive? Do we get along? Are we being educated? Then if there's a room that I have to close the door on, well, we'll gradually be working on that, but that's not the biggest deal in the world. The world's message is about what your home is for, and what organization is feeds perfectionism and then feeds discontent. And so a lot of organization really does start with and boil down to our attitudes and approach to just life. Rather than where does the stuff go and how does it go there?
So let me ask you this, for the mom she's not handling well emotionally or mentally where she's at. Where does she start? Because I think that's one of the hardest things, is just knowing even like where, you look around a house that's just a disaster, and sometimes it's easy to close doors and not look at the disaster. You might have a few rooms that are nice and tidy, but then you've got other rooms that, you can't even walk through them. And she just is so overwhelmed when she looks at it. So she just closes the door and pretends like it doesn't even exist. I have done that myself many times. Where does one even start when it comes to just that? Like, I can't even handle this,
Yeah. So for organizing the attitude portion of that, which is just how we emotionally respond when we see that mess. Two things I recommend doing. One is to brain dump. And so that is just writing things down. Like, what are your thoughts about that room where you just closed the door, about how meals are going, like whatever it is that's bothering you, just start writing things down. Because we get in little thought loops and we just feel stuck, but it's because we can't get out of that thought loop. And writing it down actually, it actually helps you stop the loop and really see. And usually what you see is unreasonable expectations. And, if you are expecting, or if you believe that it's actually your job to make the whole house picture perfect all the time, then you're under a burden that you're never going to be able to get out of. And so you're closing door, that's your coping mechanism.
Right.
Instead of saying, okay, my job is facilitating life. And you know what? Are the kids alive? Do we get along? Are we being educated? Then if there's a room that I have to close the door on, well, we'll gradually be working on that, but that's not the biggest deal in the world.
Right.
If you start to be able to think through things and really pray through things, and even be able to talk to your husband about them more clearly rather than just coming from that emotional overwrought state. And then an alignment card. This is where you put scripture or a quote or something that is true that you need to remember that answers your negative, accusing thoughts, so that you can replace those thoughts with God's words, with truthful perspective. And then, when there are those areas that you need to chip away at, just actually chip away at it 5 minutes at a time. Like I'm 5-minute timer. That's it. And you begin to make progress. And by ending the procrastination and the perfectionism with really teeny small steps. And you start realizing how much perfectionism is actually getting in your way.
Homeschool Insights is sponsored by CTC Math. If you're looking for a great online math program, visit ctcmath.com and try it for free. For more great homeschool inspiration and resources, listen to the Schoolhouse Rocked podcast every Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday.